H.R. 40 has a name. It is the Commission to Study Slavery and Develop Reparation Proposals. But I call it a reckoning, a reconciling, restoring, repairing, an opportunity for America to confront one of its original sins, and to do so from a perspective of recognizing that the duration of slavery, the legacy of slavery, permeates society today. It is not a bill of anger, of anguish. It is a bill of the sense of the importance and purpose of a people, African Americans in this country. Slavery is not yesterday, but it is today. Not from the perspective that it happened yesterday, meaning 2 days ago, last week, but from the perspective that it is something that America, in the form of this commission with academicians and other leaders as the commission's appointed members, would attempt to study the lingering impact, what occurred in that period of time, and how this in actuality contributed to America's wealth, but not to the wealth of African Americans.
After many years of enslavement, African people were emancipated following the Civil War. But there was very little effort at that time to really compensate African Americans for several generations of unpaid labor, labor that was essential to the enrichment of the country, to the wealth of the nation, and also for helping to fuel democracy, but on a limited basis to whites only. And so the notion of reparations is about looking back at past injustices, looking at the way the country created certain policies that disadvantaged some people over others. And the idea of reparations is to do something to rectify those injustices.
You can't farm without loving the land and loving what it is that you do. My grandfather, Thomas Boyd, had 15 children, and he was able to raise those kids, on his farm. And he said, you can't leave your PhD to your children, but I can leave my poor, raggedy farm to my children. So education is important, all of those things, but so is land ownership that we've gotten away from, especially as black people. I couldn't get the loans. That's how they get you in trouble, people. They cut off the access to credit. Once you get the access to credit cut off, you can't function. You can't buy diesel fuel, you can't buy seed, you can't buy lime, you can't buy all the things I need to farm with. And I started documenting the discrimination and sending it in. And in 1996, I would say that there was a turning point where we went to Washington and I bought my mule up there. I had 2 mules. I named them 40 Acres and Struggle. And we had a meeting with then Secretary of Agriculture, Dan Glickman. And I was telling him about the discrimination. And he said, what do you want us to do? I said, well, I want you to stop the discrimination. I mean, you're the Ag Secretary. And one, I said, stop the sale of black-owned farms until you can see what's going on.